Got it? Okay. Okay. And we're back with you at Lowe's Motor Speedway. As you look at the leader, Jerry Nadeau out of Danbury, Connecticut, who grew up watching his dad, Gerard, at the old Danbury Racerama. Hello, everyone. Ken Squire in this rain period here in the 41st running of the Coca-Cola 600. It was like an invisible curtain up here on the third and fourth corner for a considerable amount of time, and then it flanked us and came up over the start-finish line. And here we are with 381 miles now complete, 254 laps. And let's take a look at a full field summary here as to how things are transpiring in this great race. Jerry Nadeau in front, and the guy who can come up with $1 million bonus, Jeff Burton, is right there in second. Earnhardt Jr., Bobby Labonte, who won the fastest 600 back in '95, is fourth, and young Matt Kenseth driving a brilliant fifth place at the present time. Looking further back in the field, there's the old man, Earnhardt Sr., and he's getting ready to show his stuff. Ricky Rudd having an excellent race tonight. And Rusty Wallace, who was penalized early, right back in the thing. Dale Jarrett, a former winner. Mike Skinner stays with for Larry McReynolds and company. And then when you get to the 11th position, you've got Mark Martin, and he has to be a consideration every time he comes out, and particularly on this track. He hasn't won the 600, he has the 5. Jeff Gordon has been having some problems, but he is in 12th, and that means he could be around before it's over, followed by Park Mayfield and Ward Burton. He has been struggling. Tony Stewart, 16. Remember, he was fourth a year ago. Rick Mast having a good night. Kevin LePage started up in the front. He has fallen back into the 18th position. Johnny Benson thought he was going to have a much better run this evening than what he currently is experiencing. And Kenny Wallace stays 20th on the field. Michael Waltrip, you saw him getting lapped out here earlier, and that's sad to see. You know how much he wants that first Winston Cup race. Spencer, Sadler, Kenny Irwin, Joe Nemechek in that group. Chad Little is a little further back. Dave Blaney, he bounced off the wall again today. He did it yesterday in the 300, and it did him again tonight. Sterling Marlin, Terry Labonte, he's struggling. And Robert Presley take us back to the 30th position here as we await the conclusion of this shower and get this track dried out. Kenny Schrader, Jeffrey Bodine still in there. He has had no replacement yet. His brother Todd is standing by just in case he needs some help after that terrible crash at Daytona back in February. Dallenbach, Bobby Hamilton, Brett Bodine take us back to 35th. And then to round out the field, Tim Fedewa, who stepped in for John Andretti. Had a bad crash last week, but then the rib didn't crack until practice yesterday morning. And he has said he's used to pain, but it's that sharp, sudden pain that really gets you, and he could not give that car a good ride. P.J. Jones is here. He's giving that car a ride for Gordon, who is out in Indianapolis. We'll give you an update on what happened there a little later. Mike Bliss, Stacy Compton, Darrell Waltrip, who bought that ride, the number 85, is in 40th position. And rounding out the field, Scott Pruitt. He was in trouble early. Ricky Craven. Bill Elliott lost a motor a bit further back in the event. Let's go to Mike Massaro.
And Ken, while most of the field is out of their cars, carousing about on pit road, getting drinks and some food in Mark Martin's case, well, the defending Winston Cup champion Dale Jarrett sits content inside of his race car. And Dale, why haven't you gone out?
I'm just getting comfortable in here, just getting ready to go, and afraid I might forget what I was doing there. We were pretty good right then, but really we're just kind of chasing the tires, and we finally found some codes and sets that seem to work best for us, and we don't get those, we push really bad. Otherwise, we can go pretty good.
It seemed like the car was getting better on the long runs. Was that the case?
Yeah, and it was that last run was the very best we had been. So we had a set of those tires on our second, or our first, after our first green flag pit stop, and the car was really good then. And then all we did was change tires after that and make some adjustments, and it really was pushing. So we're just not very fast. The car's too tight there. But this past time we got it right, got the staggers opened up, and seemed to be a lot better. So I'm staying in here hoping this rain's going to stop and we can get back to racing and get a shot at those guys, maybe.
That's Dale Jarrett to Marty Snyder.
Well, Jerry Nadeau has enjoyed a terrific run tonight. And Jerry, first tell us about the miss in your engine. When did you detect it, and you think it'll be a big problem?
All I got to say is I hope it keeps raining. The car's been fabulous all day. Of course, there when it got dark, our car got a little bit tight. But we developed a little skip. You know, we think maybe it's just a valve spring, nothing big, but we're losing a little bit of power at the end of the straightaway. So we'll have to be gentle with it if we do go back to green. But I still feel like the car is good enough to where I can at least hang in there. But I thank the guys. I mean, they gave me a fabulous car today, and just see how it goes.
You led a lot today. Have you had fun leading up, running up front?
It's always fun to lead up front. I mean, no matter who you are. You know, these guys have been giving me a good car all year long. It just seems like our luck has really gone the right way lately. We'll see how lucky we can get if it keeps raining.
Again, Tony first thought they might be able to switch to the ignition box and fix that, but if it's a valve spring problem, that will not cure that problem. Now let's go over to Mike Hogwood.
Thanks, Marty. We're with Bobby Labonte right now, and Bobby, you did come down on pit road, and kind of a call that you knew what was going to go back green tonight.
Well, I mean, still pretty early in the night, time-wise, so we figured that the rain wasn't going to last very long. So we talked about it, and I think you said, what do you want to do? And I think I'm going to do it. So anyway, I just figured that it was going to be better to come down pit road. I mean, we all knew that. We just figured we'd just do it.
What about this car tonight? You maybe gave up a little bit in fuel mileage for some horsepower we were talking about. You did have to stop a few laps early, but you've got a real horse under you.
Yeah, it's going real good. You know, the guys back at the shop, it's, you know, Old Faithful for a track like this, so we're really happy with it. And, it's the same car that we finished second with to Earnhardt Senior at Atlanta, so it's a really good race car, and, you know, hopefully we can get back to racing and get it still dialed in for the rest of the race. We still got a long ways to go, though.
Jimmy Maycar here, and the two of you guys have been talking, and maybe we could eavesdrop a little bit and share with us what you've been talking about here. You don't normally get to have this kind of a break here in the middle of a race.
That's true. You know, usually it's a few seconds we get to talk about the race car and make decisions on what we're going to do to it. So this gives us an opportunity to really let Bobby explain to me exactly what he's feeling and really talk a little more in depth about the kind of changes we might want to contemplate if we make our next pit stop to adjust the car a little better. We still, like Bobby said, we're still not where we want to be with the car. It's still doing some things that we need to correct, and we're going to try and get a game plan going for the rest of the race.
This is an optimistic team here, Jimmy Maycar and Bobby Labonte. Ken Squire?
Well, the weather seems to be ambushing us at the present time. Oh, look at this. Just a father and son having a good time at the races. Father and son named Earnhardt, two major contenders to win it all before it's over tonight. Yes? All right, I'll bring Jim in for his essay. We've even talked about what it's all about. Can I do a scene set coming back about where the weather is? Yes. Yes. You've got to tell me what it means. Back with you here at Lowe's Motor Speedway, TBS Superstation presenting the Coca-Cola 600, 41st running. And the weather seems to have ambushed us. Originally, it was up here to the north. Now there are streaks of lightning to the south, but we understand it is moving through. Drivers sitting around on pit road. And we're joined by Jim Huber up here at topside as we look at this event and think about it a bit. And, you know, there are different ways. There are different ways to look at this event.
It's sort of like a missed putt in golf. Not everybody's always disappointed in it, you know. It's not a pleasant interruption, for if we had our way, the skies would be clear and the air would be dry and the race unchallenged. But it is an interesting dilemma. The racing fan versus the farmer here, where they are suffering from a drought. For when the rains come, one wins and the other loses, at least for the moment. And since they live as neighbors for the most part and often are interchangeable, it explains the half smiles on so many of these faces here in one of the country's most agricultural states, perhaps more than half of a smile. For while the rain interrupts one of his great pleasures, it blesses his life's work. And it would seem to be no different anywhere they run, for tracks out of necessity are almost always built in wide open spaces, just across a hill or a dale from grapes or corn or a wheat field. And so many of the drivers and crews themselves come from the land. So while they cool their heels and wait out the storm, anxious to get back to the track, they look to the heavens for a moment and say a very silent thank you.
Essayist Jim Huber with us, and he'll be back later on in the course of our coverage of the 600. Dale Earnhardt getting a bit of rest there. Let's go to Marty Snyder for a moment.
And Darrell Waltrip has decided that when we do go back to green flag racing, you will not get back in the car. You will let Carl Long finish the race. Why, Darrell?
Well, you know, golly, guys, he got out of the thing and let me run the race tonight. And now that we're stopped here and I got a few minutes, I told the crew, I asked them, they've done all the work. They're exhausted working on 2 cars and getting this thing put together for me. And Carl, you know, if I was a rookie and I made this race and somebody said this cat was going to take my place, I'd go find that cat and kill him. So I just want to let Carl get out there and run some laps, get some track time. We're behind. We had a plug wire come off. We had ignition failure. We just had an array of things happen. And so let him get out there and ride around and get some track time. That'll help him when he comes back over here in September and October. And we're kind of a nice way to repay him, I think, because I sure did appreciate him, what he did for me.
Talk about the emotions that you had today. This is your last Coca-Cola 600 in a race that's been so good to you.
Well, you know, I said all along coming over here last week and this week, I just wanted it to be memorable. I wanted it to be fun and go away from here with a good memory. Can't say that I did, but it has been different getting in the race, you know, with the situation with Carl and everything. I thought maybe 85 would bring me good luck, but sometimes the old luck bank just runs out. You know, I've made a lot of withdrawals through the years, and that must be overdrawn on the luck bank. So anyway, I've still had a good time. I love coming here, being out here tonight, being in the race. Like to have run better, but I just really appreciate all the people that, like Carl and others, that have helped me and supported me. And if I say I want to do something, people, you know, try to help me make it happen. I like that a lot. That makes me feel good, and to know I got friends like that.
Darrell Waltrip still plugging away in his Victory Tour 2000. Again, when we do go back to green flag racing, he will step out of the car. Carl Long will get in and finish the race.
Lunchtime for Steve Park. 5-time champion Darrell Waltrip, maybe down to the luck bank on the track, but he's still got this sense of humor. And DW, yeah, if we get up on the high side, we'll be okay, maybe. Stand by. There's more to come here. Started on the pole. I want to confirm before I say yeah, it was right before y'all went on. Back there. Yeah. Yes. Yes, we can do that.